let's watch Bricky's video that I split in 3 parts because, as I said before, I was too intimidated and afraid to watch my first lore video of 1 hour long because it would have overheated my brain probably, and like halfway through it, I will just completely blank out and stop understanding words. I'm actually giving a shout out to Bricky right now. He was legit doing a maid stream the other day. So check him out. Check him out. It's pretty cool. He gave us permission to use whatever we want of his content, which is, I don't know, which is very generous.
Getting more back down to earth. Let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more gold.
Oh yeah.
If guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus Custodies are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus Custodies are the 3rd major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know, I got carried away, okay? But that's all. I only have 3, okay? They are our final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are super special. Okay, if a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra, Terra, themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room, hence custodies. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at
I mean, they look the part, you know, so extra gold-plated and everything, and they look like, I don't know, like Legionnaires or something. Very, very stylish. Very cool. Very pretty. Oh, it's Henry Cavill's favorite. Ah, okay. What does that say about his character, huh? If Warhammer factions were a zodiac sign, and Henry Cavill's favorite faction is custodians, or custodians. What does that say about him? He loves gold. He loves shiny boys.
all times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. I think from a tube. These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall and functionally immortal. They stand still, spear in hand for hundreds of years without the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area of Holy Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilan Shield. The Aquilan Shield go out to seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5 foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered but never outmatched. These people are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them, but that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I was wondering, like, they must be super rare in this case, and yeah, it just got confirmed. There are not many of them, but holy crap! One of these is worth what? 3 Space Marines, he said, right?
100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready. Always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait. Yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians are—
Wow. Oh my God, that's deep. Okay. So yeah, I guess like some different custodians, some just stand there for hundreds of years and do nothing. I wonder how long they live for. He said for hundreds, right? This one was for 100 of years, but before he said for hundreds. I mean, he means in general, or like one can live for hundreds of years. That's kind of crazy. So some of them just stand. Some of them just stand the whole time for hundreds of years in their guarding, never moving from their position, never eating, never drinking, never blinking an eye, and that's how their life passes by. And others, they get to go on adventure. They get to go and, protect somebody important. I guess, yeah, these are the other ones that do get to see some fighting, are more, exciting, more interesting type of these custodians. Okay. They don't age beyond a certain point. They don't age beyond, so they can live forever until they are slain. Is that what you're saying? That if nobody kills them, they can just live forever? What?
The custodians are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here, because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and they're really
more sisters,
fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized.
So they are considered custodians too, right? Okay, it's just like another group, or I don't even know how to call them. Legion, group, faction, not faction of custodians, type. I mean, but they're kind of freaky. They're kind of scary. I don't know how I feel about them.
All of them taking a vow of silence, as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get some news soon, because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
What?
It's been a long video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assasinodum.
Human?
Oh, boy.
These guys are human? Oh. Just the previous picture that was shown, human? No way. Like mutated humans, probably. Like not, really scary humans. Okay. This guy looking like Ghost from Call of Duty. I like them already. Let's go. They're like rogues or something.
Boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assasinodum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assasinodum from the what was it called? Schola Progenium. It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something. You get sent to this and you get trained to be whatever. Tempestus drop troop, an inquisitor, maybe even. Maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to one of 4 temples because...
I'm sorry, can I take a moment to say how fucking cool Inquisitors look? How fucking cool Inquisitors look. Holy shit! When are we going to watch about Inquisition? When you're gonna see Inquisition when you don't expect. Good one. Like, look, like, look at that. Look at them. This is like all I ever wanted. All of my characters in an RPG to look like. Especially the hat. Holy shit, I love those hats. That witch hunter, the Inquisitor, demon hunter, whatever hat.
Of 4 temples, because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks. Poof! The Vindicare temple is the main sniper-based temple. Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there eye and scope for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away after extremely long time periods. The Vindicare Temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks, and when they're ready, take that shot, time is done, packs them up.
I'm sorry, I was just like overwhelmed by how extra everything is in Warhammer 40K. Like I'm getting the appeal of it. Like everything is super, everything is extra, everything is like blown up, blown out of proportions. Whatever, anything, their powers, their appearance, the politics, the class differentiation, like anything, whatever you look at in the Warhammer 40K universe, take a pick. It's like super extra. The worship of machinery. Yeah, the Omnissiah. I really want to watch more about Adeptus Mechanicus and like what's up with that.
Calidus Temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that are problems. These assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up, just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed. Okay. Or become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between, and lots of drawing.
Ah! Why did I have to pause? Why did I have to pause on this one? Anyway, what's done is done. Yeah, it was about to like, they look very, distinct. How do they infiltrate? They shapeshift. Gotcha.
Lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. An Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning, I guess is the term. And then they pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs and they cryo-freeze you. And then they drop you in an area where they just want to make sure everything is dead. And then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town.
This shit is sick.
You don't care if anyone comes back alive. You're like, all right, lost cause, send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple. The Caluxus assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They are seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They are described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker, oh no, the sheer presence of a Caluxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Caluxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple is, "That which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear." Now, for the tabletop, assassins aren't that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are, and they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill. And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2. The Inquisition.
Yes!
We have a lot to talk about with them.
Yes!
On the subject of heresy!
Oh boy.
Okay. Oh my god. So ready. I don't know why all of this makes me so excited. This is a made up world. This is a grim dark fantasy setting. Like, why is it so like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, am I catching the Warhammer 40K bug? I don't know.
Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people. And then mark it up by about 10 and give them the most power in the entire Imperium. No, you know what? How about this? This right here, it's not just a quote. This is the imperial motto, the motto of the Inquisition. I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing. The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their number one motto is innocence proves nothing. The Inquisition goes around.
Wait, what's this term called in law? Presumption of innocence. There's no such thing. There's no such thing in Warhammer 40K. It's the other way around. If you're innocent, you're like already, you're already a threat. Proves nothing. Serves nothing. I'm innocent. No, it's not an excuse. No one is safe. No one is safe. These guys are probably so feared. You might be innocent. That doesn't mean you haven't been deceived by the heretics and being made their weapon, right? Holy shit! No one is safe. You gotta be so careful what you say in Warhammer 40K universe. You gotta be so careful about having opinions whatsoever.
like the secret police or like detectives to find issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious, they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats, and Malleus is demons. They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot. They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them as Inquisitors. They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And memes aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but most of them are pretty good at their job. And they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power and sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved. I deem that this planet is demon infested and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. No. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet as it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment, this can mean cracking the planet's core and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter, render this planet inhospitable to all life. Yes, the innocents proves nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety. Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now, it is memed a lot, but most Inquisitors are very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one. But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is...
Was that a name of some crazy Inquisitor or something? Hold on. Wait.
There are some people who are a little bit rough on this one.
Fidus Cryptman is an Inquisitor Lord of the Ordo Xenos, also known Major Tyrannic Wars. I guess this guy was like, you know, did some crazy shit, and they're like, oh, I mean, the Xenos, those are the ones, the anti-aliens ones. So he was probably like, okay, nuke this planet, nuke that planet. Those planets only have dangerous Xenos. Kill them all. Okay, yeah, maybe went overboard a little bit. I was thinking the other day, was Warcraft and Starcraft also inspired by Warhammer, or what was first, Warhammer or Warcraft, Starcraft? Because, you know, like, you see a bunch of similarities.
But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them, and they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something. Right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grim darkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right? Come back for part 2 when we talk about Chaos and Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos Marine Legions and the Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
Great, great. I can't wait. Amazing video by Bricky. Amazing. Really, really glad that you guys recommended me to watch this video, because it's one of the easiest to understand for a complete noob like me. If I watch some more advanced lore videos from other amazing creators, I might have not caught it. I'd be like, you know, sitting at the in the uni at the lecture and just like zoning out because it's like too much to take in. This is so simple. Graphics, images, like, you know, the visuals are funny, memey, easy to grasp, easy to understand, and just, you know, just the way Bricky explains everything, I really like his style. I'm so happy I watched it. Brought me closer to this universe for sure. So we're going to watch the next part two next time, and I think I will either watch it in 2 seatings or in 1 if I'm feeling like it, because like 1 might be too much. Like I need to, you know, I need to portion those, not to blow up my brain.